Sail with me as we go, where the ocean breeze and the dolphins roam. There's no place I'd rather be than with you, being barefoot and salty.
Good morning. We're here in Paradise Cove, and I got up early because I fell asleep on the floor, and I was up pretty much all morning and went back to bed, and it's 9 o'clock and we hear all this commotion, people talking, winches. Like, we're at a really quiet anchorage, and literally 30 minutes or an hour ago, there was only the sailboat and Jelani. So Clive goes upstairs, and then next thing I know, he said, we've got a problem. There's this big yacht, motor yacht, that came into Paradise Cove, and in Turkey, a lot of the times you set your anchor and you run lines to rocks or a tree, a shore, and they were right on top of our boat. And we don't have a line to shore because we were the first boat here, and there's plenty of room for people to anchor without having to take a line ashore. So their line ends up snapping, and they start impeding on Jelani, and Clive runs up there, he turns on the motors, and really quickly we were able to avert getting hit by this big yacht. So I mean, this is something that it just goes to show, even though you're in the comfort of your own home, you're quiet in bed, you always have to be aware of your surroundings and your situation. And I really applaud Clive for getting up and moving as quickly as he did, because the boat was very, very close to running into Jelani, and we're still here. We just moved to the other side of the bay, but I'll go ahead and show you. Feels nice just to get out for a while and go take a walk. We found this path. Actually, this morning I saw quite a few people already walking on it. So we know that there's a campground, I think 2 bays down, and they might have a little restaurant or a market where we can grab a few things, or even just get a cup of coffee, get off the boat, break the monotony. Look how pretty this water is. Doesn't it remind you of the Bahamas?
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad we took this walk, got off the boat.
Nice breeze.
Feels really nice. All right. Continuing onward.
We just hiked our way up this little hill from the water edge, hoping that we could find a main road, which we did. hoping there'd be a store or something, a market that we could get some water and maybe some other stuff, food. However, we got up there, walked for maybe half a mile, didn't look like there was anything, so we turned back, and now we're walking back down towards the water's edge.
So we got a Turkish coffee and a Turkish delight, which we probably shouldn't be eating because we're on home 30.
Paradise Bay. Couldn't be better than that. Undisturbed, undeveloped, lots of greenery, pine trees, beautiful water. Part of Turkey.
I was telling Clive that this Paradise Bay or Cove reminds me of the lakes in Tennessee. The pine trees, the hills, and like the thickness of it's almost like mud. It's not even really sand the closer you get to shore over there. But it's been a really nice, relaxing day. Very different from what we've been used to, with a lot of action. So this has been a nice change. Very quiet. We have 2 people here, another sailboat, and then a fisherman. I think they're kind of camping out for the weekend. But we'll probably be here for a few days before we head off to the next place. I'm not sure what I really want to say, except this is so beautiful. We are just thoroughly enjoying being in Turkey. Everyone that we met has been so kind and generous, and it's just really beautiful, and I'm so happy that I can share this with Clive, the person I love, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of months here in Turkey. Here I am doing a little cruising underneath the boat. That noise that you hear is the generator. We've got the generator on. Our batteries aren't charging as quickly as we want them, so we have the generator running. And yeah, I'm gonna try to work my way back out to the other side, to the light. Today, Clive and I sailed to an anchorage in Isene Buku. It only took 3.5 hours to get to our new anchorage, but it felt invigorating to get on the water again. We took Finn to the next bay over, where we had a Turkish tea and met a nice local so willing to help.
And yep, there she goes. That's my girl. Oh, well, it's the first time she's jumped into the dinghy without me and taken off. I'm pretty proud of her, that's for sure. So we're at this anchorage right now. No boats around. We're the only one here. All right, well, we're on our way to a very well-known market on Saturdays, more like in the center of town, and hopefully we can find enough vegetables and fruit for the next 10 days, because we're not going to be at anchorages. We want to be able to be well stocked before we go. Plus there's some other things too. Maybe we'll get a nice little shish kebab. Turkey famous for shish kebabs. All good things lead us to the market.
Alright, we're here at the Turgutreis bazaar, and it is like pandemonium here. There's a lot of people wheeling and dealing, and we have plenty of stuff for the next 10 days at anchor. We've got a lot of vegetables, fruits, olives, and now we're gonna go get some nuts and hopefully some spices, and then we should be done.
Yeah, well, the other problem is whenever they give us a number, we don't know how to count in Turkey.
So we just give them
them money and hope they give us the right change.
You know, we're supposed to wheel and deal, but we're really not doing that at all here.
Bags in hand, and off we go to the bazaar. The Turgutreis market is every Saturday, and you'll be sure to find a wide array of items for the kitchen. It was definitely overwhelming with the amount of people buying goods and the vendors shouting over each other. The smell of cooked meat was in the air and made Clive and I instantly hungry, even though we just had breakfast.
Well, we're on our way back to the boat. We spent, how much do you think we spent already on all?
Whatever was in your wallet.
At least 700-800 Turkish lira, probably around $200, but we got a ton of stuff.
Yeah, we loaded up on spices.
Spices, fruit, and nuts, and vegetables, honey, oregano honey. Ever heard of oregano honey?
It tastes so good. It's kind of deceiving. You think it's gonna taste like crap, but no, it actually tastes very good. Hey, there's the sailboat race.
Yeah.
We made it back to the boat. We have unloaded everything, and I just want to kind of give you a peek at what we bought. We bought basically everything at the market. That's what it seems like. All right, here is the oregano honey that we got. Very unique flavor. I would never ever get this, but it was actually quite tasty. Tons of fruit. We got these really great eggs. I read something on the TripAdvisor about the market, and they said you must get the eggs there, so we did. In Turkey, they don't sell pork, so we just have different options here. All right, so we made, we got this homemade balsamic vinegar, Melissa lemon tea. That stuff smells so good. And this is kind of like our coffee, tea, and spices area, olive oil. And so we got some really good like spices for chicken and salads, oregano, sun-dried tomatoes, and this stuff is trying to light me on fire, giving me a whole spoonful of this, but we got way too much of it. But I mean, we enjoy spicy food, and this definitely has a kick to it. So we got a lot of spices. Just a little sneak peek. Strawberries, zucchinis. We've got roasted red peppers. We loaded up on more zucchini, and broccoli is actually kind of hard to find, so we got that. Just tons of vegetables and fruit. So we're loaded up, ready to go for the next week or so. Unfortunately, the weather is not looking good. If you look on predict wind, it's like all red, dark red. So we're going to be getting a lot of wind, so we might actually not leave tomorrow like we're supposed to. We'll play that by ear. Yeah, we're off to our first anchorage after Turgutreis.
Yeah, she's got the helm, as you can see.
Look, my foot. Look, my foot is steering.
Oh, really? Okay.
Actually, it's the autopilot. It makes us lazy. But I do like to steer. Anyway, so we're going to our first anchorage after Marina D Marine Turgutreis. It's called Black Island. They have a middle bay, they have an end going, and they also have something called Mud Bay, which I guess a big cosmetic company went there and got a lot of the mud and made it into some sort of like a mask or something. So maybe if we can, we will end up going to Mud Island. But yeah, our stay in Turgutreis was really, really nice. We stayed a little bit longer than originally anticipated, but we're really not in a rush to go anywhere, and we were really enjoying it. So yeah, we got our bikes out. We went for a bunch of bike rides. We had some really good authentic dinners and lunches. We tried to get out of the marina, so we got more of a local feel and vibe. But other than that, we're ready to get back to anchor and get some boat chores done, and also just like decompress a little bit. We always like going to anchor.
Thank you for tuning in to our Barefoot and Salty Adventure. Make sure to like the video and please subscribe.